Good evening and welcome to the Raleigh Municipal Light Board meeting of January 21st, 2015. As a reminder, this meeting is being audio and video recorded. This is kind of a little bit different meeting than our regular board meeting. We're here tonight to discuss our new rate study, and it's more or less to bring the public up to speed as to what we've been doing, and we'll give you some information on the study itself. And we'll get started. You gonna open it up, or do we want Bruce to?
If Bruce, you just want to do a quick rundown of what a cost of service study is, then we can just, we can go from there.
Okay. Basically, what we looked at was the amount of revenue that you were going to be required to bring in over the next few years, and then we allocate that to customer classes to come up, and then after the total revenue is determined that each class is responsible for, then we develop rates and look at it compared with what your neighbors would have to pay, and basically it's a rather lengthy, long-term process, and we go through several steps in the way, but it's basically to come up with rates for the next few years for your utility.
And Bob, the really reason that we did this basically is because the rates were a little bit out of skew because of the fact that a cost of service study has not been done in a number of years.
Right.
And even Bruce recommends that we may do it or look to refresh this maybe every year or every other year, just to make sure that the allocations are correct to the customer classes.
Yeah. Basically, what had transpired was that the purchase power adjustment had kind of got out of kilter a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's going through the years, just kind of make up for the differences that we were seeing in the power costs. So hopefully this takes care of that, and I think it does. It brings it back down again.
As of the situation right now, I think it does. Who knows what's going to happen?
Well, that's true. We can't predict the future, can we?
I've heard it.
And I think actually if I could, I probably wouldn't be sitting here.
Neither would I.
Okay. And basically, a cost of service rate is what we try to look at. And what that really means is that if it's a residential rate, it costs us X number of dollars to supply that customer with energy.
That's correct, yes.
And what we try to do.
We're trying to look at the cost that you incur to serve each of your customers, and to come up with a rate that fairly charges them for the service that they're requiring from you.
Exactly, and each rate is different.
Yes.
It costs us more to supply, as an example, an industrial rate than it would a commercial rate or a residential rate, as far as the equipment and things like that. So
yes, the equipment and certainly costs more. There are other offsetting factors, but yes, that's true.
okay, that seems simple enough,
Yeah.
and I think it's one way to do it fairly. I mean,
Well,
to
that
set
was the
rates.
overall scheme, is to try
Yes.
and come, or the overall intent was to come up with a fair rate for everybody, and to make sure that you have enough money that you can continue providing the service in the future without hurting any of your customers unduly or unfairly.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you think? We want to go for it?
We can, yeah, we can.
I'm a little disappointed we didn't get two more people, but
Yeah, really.
we tried. That's all we can do.
Yep.
I mean, and I think it's fair that we try to do this. In reality, we're not required to hold a public hearing like this. We can just set the rates at what we think are fair. But in all fairness to our customers, we would like them to know why and how we came about doing this.
Yes.
So that they understand that we really are looking at their best interests to supply them with the energy that they need to run their households and their businesses. So, okay, so we do have 4 classes of rates.
What I did was, I printed out a few rate graphs just to show the differences between the old rate, the new rate, and a national grid rate for an equal customer. And you have those graphs in front of you.
Yep.
It's basically the old rate and the new rate. The new rate is going to drop compared to what we're actually charging our customers now.
So you're telling me that our rates are going down?
They're going to go down in March, yes, depending on the date that we implement this rate.
That's not bad at all,
No, that's good. Yeah, that's actually,
considering what our neighbors are seeing.
you can see the comparison on the graph to where National Grid is currently. And I'm not going to say National Grid will be there in June, but that's where they are currently right now.
Right now, yeah. And I guess we can kind of give you an example of that. And it's under the residential rate with the 500 kilowatt hour monthly bill. And our old rate, the one we're on right now, would be approximately $84 for that without the discount. The new rate is going to be just slightly over $80. And our neighbors who have National Grid at this point are paying over $120 for that same 500 kilowatt hours. So it does make a big difference. And actually we go to 750 kilowatt hours on the residential rate. And our old rate would have been approximately about $125. Our new rate is going to be slightly under $120, and National Grid is at $180 at this point in time.
If I may interrupt, the
Yeah.
750 kilowatt hour class is probably an average customer these days.
Okay,
So a customer in an average size house in town is about 750 kilowatt hours with all the new electronic gadgets that people have in their homes.
right.
It's not what it used to be. An average house used to be about 500. Now it's more like 750, I think.
Okay.
Would you agree, Bruce, is about 750 is about the average household now?
Let me see, I think that's about right, if I can tell you what it is. Yes, between 700 and 800, that's about right,
Okay.
750.
Okay, and then I think the one that's most interesting to everybody is the residential rate itself. So I'll give you the third category that we calculated, and that's a residential rate, a residential customer that uses 100, or actually 1,000 kilowatt hours a month. And our old rate at 1,000 kilowatt hours a month would have been approximately $154. The new rate is going to be about $151. And the National Grid residential rate at 1,000 is going to be about $148. So you can see there's a huge difference between. And what we
Well,
can,
that's, no, I'm sorry, Bob.
yep. National Grid,
240?
I see it's right under 250,
Yeah, under 250, okay.
yeah. So,
I thought you said 150, I'm sorry.
I may have, well, the 150 is basically the new rate. It's just over 150, maybe 150, 152, something like that. But, and we can make these charts available for you, so when you do your editing, we can put them up on the screen. Okay. Is there any questions from the audience at this point?
Not for me.
Bruce, I was hoping you'd ask me a question. No, I'm glad you didn't. As a matter of
I
fact.
would like to state that I think you've updated these numbers for present power supply costs over what I gave you, right? Is it correct?
A little, well, what I did was I took the rates that you had given us, and I basically split it out a little bit with the, I took the 5 cents off for purchase power, and then the other rate, and so the rate is 5 cents less than what you recommended there.
Okay.
That I actually put in the rate. So the rate itself is the same, but it's 14 and, I mean, it's
I mean, your
11.
numbers that you quoted were very similar to some of mine, but they were a little different. So I assume basically, mine were a little dated, and I assume that you did some updating for them, that's all.
Actually, I was just kind of guesstimating because we're using a graft,
Okay,
so there is no,
all right, I understand.
It's not exact, yeah.
I'm just kind of squaring it off and saying, yes, just below the line, so it's got to be a dollar less or something.
There's no doubt that your rates are way below National Grid.
Mhm.
That's a given.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about the specific numbers you're quoting, but they were close.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in the ballpark,
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
certainly are.
and without a deflated ball, too.
Yeah. Well, I won't add any air then.
Okay. Sounds good. So where do we go from here, Dan? I mean, we're going to try to put this into effect with the March bill,
With the March bill,
which will be the April usage. Is that correct?
February
February usage.
to March, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so the
Yeah,
March, the
you're right.
bill that goes into March will be,
Yeah, so it'll be the February bill. Okay, so it'll start with that billing. And we still have the 1 cent per kilowatt hour discount.
yes.
That hasn't gone away. And the same requirements for that, end of the month, et cetera.
Yep.
Okay. Yes, sir. You got here late.
3 minutes.
You got any questions or?
No, I just saw
Concerns,
the
or-
ad in the paper.
So-
They come by at 7:30 and you want to talk about your new rate program and your evaluations that you have done.
Yeah, we basically have done a rate study, okay, and it's what we call a cost of service study, and that means that the rate for like a residential customer will be calculated on what it costs the department to supply that type of customer, a residential customer. And the costs and so forth are figured, calculated on our cost to serve that customer. And we do have some decently good news in that the residential rate under the new study is actually going down.
Okay.
It's not a huge discount, but it is going down. As an example, 500 kilowatt hours under the new rate is about $81. And you can actually take off of that the discount, so that's another $5 discount. The old rate was actually about $84, so it has come down. Now, as of today, that same 500 kilowatt hours in a national grid community is about $121. So, it
So,
is-
can I ask you a question?
Sure.
And I'm sorry that I'm late, guys, so I'm reiterating. So you have a new rate structure, and you're going to start in March,
Mhm.
and it's going to be slightly lower.
Correct.
That's great news.
Can't beat that today.
Because Rowley Electric, when I tell people that I live in Rowley and our electric, it's well known that your rates are fabulous to the community and to the people. That's a very positive, I can tell you guys. And I never ever hear about people in all the communities, right down the street, Byfield, Newbury, can be anywhere, all around us. They lose power. A windstorm, they'll lose power. I don't know what it is about you guys, but we never, I've been here for 25 years, and if I lost power, it's for 6 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, nothing. Very, very insignificant.
No, I think it's a tribute to the work crews. They go out and, they do a great tree trimming job, change out poles, so
Mhm.
all that makes a big difference. When a storm comes in, I lived in that world, Bob lived in that world, we know if you don't have tree trimming, you have a lot of outages.
Yep.
Rowley Electric is a great organization, so
Thank you.
that's why when I saw the ad, I want to tape it at 10:01.
Okay. And want to talk about the forward capacity changes that are going to be taking place in the next few years? Or does that get a little too complicated?
That gets very complicated.
It's kind of hard to understand. But
What I plan on doing is having a letter drafted, or bill stuffer drafted, that explains the changes that are coming in the forward capacity market and the ISO New England Road Zone in general. Just a very one-page, double-sided newsletter that kind of breaks down the cost that we pay, so the customer understands, where their money is going
Right.
when they pay their electric bill.
Yeah.
And the fact that only a small, very, very small portion of what they pay actually takes to run the light department. Everything else is basically going out to purchase power, transmission cost, forward capacity market cost, all those other costs that people don't see.
Yeah, basically, power delivery is our biggest expense. And I mean, it's in, 70–80%?
Probably a little bit more, probably 85% at least.
Wow, yeah. So, I mean, it's a huge amount. So to run it on 10–15%, we're doing very well.
Yep, I think so.
I do too. Yeah, I have to agree with you. Okay, and we're not the only ones in this boat. I've got a newspaper article here from the town of Ipswich. I don't know if you happen to see this one, Dan? It was back on November 20th. And the headline reads, "Towns try to keep electric rates low." And they're seeing the same things that we're seeing, obviously the next door neighbor. We actually get our power from the same transmission line. It goes through Rowley, we take it off, and then they send it to Ipswich. And they get their share over there. So it's, all of the municipals are facing the same issue that's coming up, particularly with the forward capacity stuff. So, got anything to say, Ken?
No,
Okay.
no,
Bob?
just listen to
Okay.
the new rates.
I don't know if we want to wait a little while and see if anybody else shows up. We can give them the same information, or
Yeah, it's up to you.
you folks got any questions? No? No, I keep trying. So,
No, I think you have a good story to tell this time.
yes, I mean, when you do a rate study, you always kind of say, well, what is the outcome going to be? And you're kind of hoping that it comes out like this, but most of the time it doesn't. You find that you were actually a little bit behind and need to increase the rates. Particularly with the headlines that hit about a couple of months ago with National Grid going up 37% in their rates. I mean, that's a huge increase to come all at once like that. So you kind of sit back and say, well, the old municipal system is working after all. It really is. So,
Good story.
yes, yeah, you're absolutely right, Bowen. So has anybody got anything, anyone else have anything to say? I'm kind of running out of material here.
I just want, if anybody in the audience, or when they see this, want to come by the office and ask questions about the rates, pick up some graphs, they're more than welcome to stop by the office and pick anything up. Or
Yeah, these will be available at the office.
They will be available
For
at
anybody
the
that wants to
office,
come by and pick them up and then study them. We'll go from there. So,
the new rate schedule will be published in the paper fairly soon. We have to publish it so many days before the rate takes effect.
yeah,
So in February, at some point, late January, early February, you see a posting in the paper that's going to show the rates, and that'll be and then they'll take effect the following month.
those schedules. And actually, those rates get filed with the Department of Public Utilities also. That's part of the state law, that they have to go into them. So I think they'll be surprised to see a decrease. Probably not seeing many of those these days.
No.
So that'll be good. Kind of puts Raleigh on the map just a little bit. So, what next?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Anybody else? All good news.
You all set, Dan?
I'm all set.
So,
Yeah,
entertain a motion
I'll make that motion.
I'll
adjourn.
second it.
to adjourn. Unless somebody's got some questions.
Do you
Keep
want,
trying. No? Okay.
do you want to vote on these?
We can if you want us to.
Yes.
All right.
That way, the progression will vote on them tonight, and then I'll put them in the paper, and then they'll just go.
Okay. So if there's no objections out there in the audience with all these people here, you know, listening to what we have to say, we will vote on this tonight to accept these as the rates that will be going forward. And I will entertain a motion for that.
I'll make a motion that we accept the rates as we presented tonight.
Okay.
And I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I call for a roll call, not a roll call, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. So the new rates are officially in order. That
We've
was,
already made a motion to adjourn.
you made a
before.
motion, yeah. The motion's still on the table, and if nothing else is up, we'll entertain a vote. All those in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? We are adjourned. That takes care of that.